Hi, my name's Anastasia. I am a writer, editor, and mental health practitioner. I am also Fairy Rave Godmother over at Planet Dust Enterprises, an online business that produces books and workshops for psychospiritual growth and atypical creative expression. Planet Dust is a vibe. Planet Dust is that place you go inside to find peace. Planet Dust is a container for global community. Planet Dust is global community. Planet Dust is self-aware community. Planet Dust is a constellation of people across the globe who choose themselves, who prioritize their mental health and are willing to look at their worldview, their lifestyle, their self-care, and understand what is working for them, what is not working for them, so that they can source inner joy. I'm a psychosynthesis practitioner. So what that means is I come from a point of view where the whole being is involved in mental health. The whole being is moving towards healing and the person gets to define their own version of health and wholeness. My work is heart-centered. So the person, the patient, the student is at the center of the mental health guidance that I provide. I'm a little different in my approach because I believe that you are the agent of your experience. You know best what's going on inside. You know best what you need, even though you might not know it at this moment. And even though what you think you need or you perceive that you need might be a little bit out of reach, we'll figure it out. We will figure out what you need to not have glitter in the mouth. Oh, but I love my glitter. Makes me happy. Okay. Whatever you need in the moment to restore a sense of balance and being grounded and whatever serves your mental health. I offer guidance and I offer group workshops. So individual sessions and workshops in groups, primarily centered around creative writing for transformation. So some guided prompts, expression, but also some knowledge behind what you're working with. And those are wonderful spaces to continue on with your practice, right? Your self-care practice. I also offer, or my specialty, you can say, is working with mood disorders. A person with bipolar disorder or a chronic mood disorder is going to have a different experience, a different perception of shared reality, and a different set of needs than someone who is not living with that label. The label is awesome. The diagnosis is awesome because that's community. That offers a path to connect with others who share your experience. But I also know that the number of high functioning people with bipolar disorder who have achieved stability, stay in remission from symptoms, maintain consistent cognitive function. Well, it takes a village. Apparently, we ain't got villages anymore. We this whole big interconnected global unit. So cool. Let's leverage that. I offer a special program that I have called Self-Mastery for those individuals, but also for their caretakers and their mental health care practitioners, because I don't want the person to think it's all on them, to not just get into recovery, to get stable, but then to stay there. And I know that more often than not, people who love them, people who love those folks who are suffering from symptoms, might not be able to reach them. And mental health care practitioners might have a disconnect between understanding what it's actually like to have that mood disorder. There might be a want of empathy, but an inability to understand how to effectively express it. So, what keeps all y'all up at night? Well, I got the answer. I mean, look, I'm part of the community too. How do we live? How do you live in a world that is so dumpster fire? How do you live with a condition that by nature has very blurry boundaries, and you might be feeling all right one day, and then the next thing you know, you're like, shit, I don't know who I am anymore, and I don't even know when that happened. How do you live like that and find stability and joy in the world? I'm going to tell you, it takes practice. It takes a meaningful triage between self-management, medication management, reflection, and care. See, the thing is, our minds, our bodies are receivers, right? And this is inspired by many years of studying Ayurveda and holistic healthcare systems, not study by the book as in study as in I need to learn it and I need to do it, right? So what happens is that we are picking up so much information, our minds, our bodies, and where does it all go? It isn't even all from us, you know? Are we picking up the earth? Are we picking up other people? You know, I'm all about very clearly defining boundaries, which will then help manage moods, which will then help with logic and function. And then it'll actually help you figure out who you are. Because once you're not living the bipolar experience, you're living the experience of an individual. Shoot, I can attest personally, it took me a very long time to realize my personality was based on not just the experience of bipolar disorder, but the narrative that is laid out for me. That's smacked. I had to understand who that person was so I could, as in psychosynthesis we say, so I could disidentify, so I could gain some distance from that person and say, okay, not that person. Who am I then? And for caregivers and mental health care practitioners, it's the same. I have this image of a person, let's say, thinking out loud here. but I wanted my daughter to be like this and she's not. Or I wanted my patient to be like this and they're not, and I just don't get it. There is the opportunity for management of self as well, because you need to be at peace with how you interact and engage with your loved ones and students and clients. So this is your work too. You have to do your own work. Understand how you are relating to that other person in relation to whatever is being related to in yourself. Holy macaroni, I am so not good at sales videos. I'm gonna just talk your ear off. But listen, this has a point, and this is also how I teach. Each word is medicine. Each sentence that I offer you can heal, can also crack open something for you. This is my life's work. Not just to have walked the chironic journey, the wounded healer journey, to know that living with bipolar disorder is a challenge, but I got it. I got solid network, I have solid support, I have solid self-care, and it's possible. So we meet in community. We hold each other softly accountable, and we encounter each other with regularity to create that more easy to live with version of bipolar disorder. Man, I'll tell you though, invisible disabilities, which is what it is, okay, can feel so much harder to live with, to explain, to treat, because you want to see the results right away. You want to be able to see something. No, it ain't like that. This is being work. So I offer you this point of view, this container, this knowledge and structure to be with. I know that you keep yourself up at night. Maybe not even just worrying about how you're going to live. You just worrying, man. That's all. That's part of the thing, right? It can be. Your mind can be quiet. I promise you. And no, not just with meditation. And look, we're going to talk a lot about meditation and yoga. Love it, but like, holy ick. I was in a yoga teacher training program. I've been practicing yoga since I was like 17 for the chill, for the peace, right? I went into this program watching others get calmer, and I got more disturbed inside. My moments were terrifying. My present was not somewhere I wanted to be. The facilitator of the program was not as versed in trauma or acknowledging of mental illness as the person could have been. So I got told, you just don't belong here. I was showing up doing that work, but the quality of my experience was remarkably different from the other people who did not have bipolar disorder. So the result is this. I do what I want to do. I do what I like. I'm happy. I'm fulfilled. I have a lifestyle, a way of thinking, an engagement with the world that is meaningful. And this is all from taking a really different sideways approach to managing my bipolar experience. I do advocate for medicine. If no medicine is where you're at, if that's your wish, okay. I also advocate for both. Know when you need something and know when you don't. So my self-mastery program is kind of like a writing workshop meets like a teaching room and an ashram meets like support group. Yeah, because we get constructive. We show up and share ideas primarily. And we grow. And we grow. And we take from our experiences lessons. And we integrate those lessons. And we learn that even though some days might feel like a snickerdoodle of a situation, those too pass. So I hope to see you in self-mastery. What you're going to do is you're going to drop me an email, drop me a DM, reach me through my website. Let's start a conversation. Disclaimer, self-mastery is not therapy. It's a great adjunct to therapy. Self-mastery is not for everyone. We go through many conversations to ensure that you can hold the container and it's all love, if you can. Regardless, know that you are loved. Know that you are part of Planet Dust community. And until we meet virtually or IRL, be well.